MAGA has turned this country into a greedy free-for-all. We know Trump has a tacky obsession with gold, but now we're finding out that when the man at the top is a crook, everyone beneath him, all the way down to the henchman, gets the same idea. I guess we finally found all of that Fort Knox gold that Trump and Elon were so obsessed with.
More than 300 gold bars worth more than $40 million and $2 million in cash. That is what the FBI says that it found in the Ashburn home of a former executive at the CIA.
So now we have yet another government employee stealing gold bars like we're out of Lawrence of Arabia. This time, instead of taking a bribe, he's just straight up stealing. But a CIA operative managing to get their hands on this many gold bars without raising suspicion until now, I mean, that's pretty far-fetched for anyone to believe. Also, the fact that a large amount of it was formally requested and approved, begging the question, how much of our money, millions of tax dollars, are just being wasted?
David Rush is a former CIA senior officer with a top-secret security clearance. According to a complaint filed in federal court, Rush made several requests for work-related expenses between November of 2025 and March of 2026. Those expenses, according to the complaint, included a large amount of cash and tens of millions of dollars in gold bars, which was given to Rush. But at some point, it's unclear when, a review of Rush's storage space at the agency only found a small portion of the cash he was given. According to the complaint, FBI agents searched his house. During the search, FBI agents seized approximately 303 gold bars. Based on the current price of gold, the estimated value of the gold exceeds $40 million. FBI agents also seized approximately $2 million in United States currency. The complaint says Rush applied 3 times to the CIA, twice in 2006 and again in 2009 when he was hired. The investigation has revealed that he never attended or obtained a degree from Clemson University. The investigation also revealed that Rush never attended or obtained degrees from RPI or Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. According to court documents, Rush also told employees he was a pilot for the Navy. That was not true. The FAA saying it did not have a certificate or pilot's license registered to Rush. While News 4 was in the neighborhood, someone inside Rush's home called police complaining about the media. Most people we talked to declined to comment about Rush. None would go on camera. One couple told News 4 Rush's wife and children would take walks in the neighborhood, but they rarely saw David Rush. Now, that complaint filed in federal court also says that the FBI found 35 luxury watches inside this house. Those watches were mainly Rolex, is what the court document said.
So we're wasting money on thieving CIA agents, we're wasting money on UFC fights at the White House, and now we're putting waste on our money. The fact that they're even trying to put Trump on a $250 bill is just absolutely egregious. Remember when Trump stopped Harriet Tubman from being on the 20? Well, now he's putting himself on the imaginary 250.
How long until we see your signature next to President Trump's face on a $250 bill?
So right now there is proposed legislation that in front of the House, in front of the Senate, to change the first requirement so that a living person, Donald J. Trump, could be on a $250 bill.
This is what the monstrosity is going to look like, I guess, if and when Congress approves it. The GOP is nothing but an ashy shell of what it once was. Those worms would push Trump's farts out of his ass if he asked them to. Any vanity project of his is going to have their official approval, regardless of if it has yours, mine, or anybody else's. The funniest part, too, is that he's not even being America first with this stupid stunt. He hired a British artist to make this American money, just because the artist works with the King and Queen of England and Trump fancies himself a tyrant. The greed in our system runs deep. Look at Bob Menendez, a Democratic senator for almost 2 decades, and he was trading in the country for gold bars and cash until he was sentenced to 11 years. All of these conman grifter worms realized that the easiest mark is the government. Other than, of course, those of us whose brains are literally not developed yet. So naturally, that's the target of Trump's latest scam, Trump accounts. The government is planning on giving millions of dollars, maybe billions, to children. But here's the catch: fees, a scammer's favorite word. These fees can dramatically cut into account growth, particularly for small accounts, meaning that if the funds only grow 3% annually after the index fund's fee, the administrator could take almost all of its growth.
For every U.S. citizen child born between January 1st of this year and December 31st, 2028, the government will make a one-time contribution of $1,000 into an index fund account tracking the stock market. And joining me now is Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev, who's at today's event. Vlad, good to see you. So this would make, when you come into the world in the U.S., at least for a few years, you'd get a Social Security number and a brokerage account. It really changed the game. What's the potential impact on Robinhood?
I think the potential impact is extreme.
See, this is why we need to build an equitable and just economic system, one that prevents corruption at its source by removing the mechanisms that make wealth extraction possible. If you must have some sort of personalized account, then at least do it the way Singapore does, where it's a grant that can only be spent on childcare, education, and approved welfare. A better world is possible using the tools and the mechanisms at our disposal right here in America. Hell, now that Trump is trying these accounts, what he might have done is just inadvertently open the door for UBI in the future. Say he gives these accounts to all of those kids, who's to stop a Democratic president from pumping those accounts full of money every month? As Graham Plattner says, we have to democratize our economy as well as our politics, taken even beyond childhood, like in Singapore, where these accounts are opened for children aged 7 to 20. And if there's still any money in there after you get too old, it's rolled into the National Retirement Fund. See, the hyper-capitalists in Washington want you to think that it's a blessing for children to have their names on what is essentially a loan to Wall Street. But real investment would be spending that money on the well-being and the future of those children directly. Put the power in the people's hands and watch them build the world. This is U.S. Democratic Socialists. I'm Tony Hinderman, and chances are, if you like this one, you'll like the next one.